sunshine, I'll be your love, I'll be your sunshine, I'll be your love, I'll be your sunshine, I'll be your love, I'll be your love, I'll be your sunshine. You see the sea, I'll see the sunshine, I'll be your love, I'll be your sunshine, shine, shine.
We're back in the beast tonight where the Brampton Honey Badgers welcomes the Montreal Lions here beside the CEBL Center. My name is Francisco Kwong and I will be your sideline reporter for today's show. So Brampton's coming to this game knowing that a win is all they need to officially lock themselves a playoff spot. Meanwhile, Montreal, they're still trying to keep their playoff hopes alive, although they cannot clinch or be eliminated tonight. Every game at this point of the season matters for all these teams, making this matchup another important one in the Eastern Conference playoff race. So with so much on the line for both of these teams, it's going to be a very exciting one here for us in the CAA Center. So to get us started, I'm going to send it over to Matt and Joe. Guys?
Thank you, Francisca. Matt Bonomi alongside the coach, Joe Rasso. And Joe, the formula is simple here for the Brampton Honey Badgers. Win and you're in. For the Montreal Lions, though, they are fighting for their playoff lives here. Two teams that have a lot on the line tonight.
Yeah, we're still not at the point where failure means you're fatal, because no matter who wins today, the other team still has a chance to get in. But what I like Brampton's situation is they've got 3 games ahead of themselves. And they now control their own destiny. They can get second place in the East if they win out.
entering with 21 games played. That is the least amount in the Eastern Conference, as Joe mentioned. All right, let's take a look at some matchup stats for tonight's contest between the Alliance and Honey Badgers. And Montreal is second in opponents' points per game, giving up just 90. So Brampton will have their work cut out for them on the offensive end.
Yeah, both these teams really want to keep the scores down a little bit because they hang their hat on their defense. Lots of similarities. The one area that Montreal's hurt them a little bit is the free throw line. That 66% is the league low. But the other part that is beneficial to them is the assists. This team, when they pass the ball, they do a really good job, and they lead the league at 21.5 assists.
Two of the best rebounding teams in the Canadian Elite Basketball League as well. Montreal second with 38, and Brampton third with 37. So you can expect a lot on the glass tonight.
Yeah, and they're a good offensive rebounding team, so that means second chance opportunities.
And one of the exciting things for these teams, too, is they're coming off big wins. Brampton coming off a win against Winnipeg, and Montreal coming off a win against Vancouver, the top two teams in the West.
Yeah, and one on the road and one at home. But in the case of Montreal, they desperately needed that win the other night, and they won it in good target score fashion.
So it's been a season of ups and downs for this Brampton Honey Badgers squad, and the man in charge of drawing up the game plan tonight is head coach Alex Serta. He's standing by with Francisco.
Coach, you guys have the chance to clinch a playoff spot tonight. What's the biggest message to your group, knowing how much is on the line tonight?
Yeah, we just talk about doing the little things that go into winning one possession at a time, being very process-oriented and just surrendering to the outcome, just as long as we do the right things collectively as a group.
And what do you think your group has to do well to earn this playoff spot tonight?
Defensively, we just got to make sure we get stick hit on every catch. Our post defense has to be there tonight, make them score through bodies, defend without fouling, and our best offense is our defense when we get those collected stops.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck. Guys?
The Honey Badgers will try to punch their ticket to the playoffs. Stick around. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus. Inside the CAA Center, seconds away from tip-off between the Honey Badgers and Alliance. Joe, you've identified some keys to the game presented by CDIC, first for the visiting Montreal squad.
Yeah, control the pace if you're Montreal. You want this game to end in the 80s, and you want to make sure that you can get back on defense. You don't want to give up fast break opportunities. Move the ball, less ISO. Montreal, when they move the ball, they're the league leaders in assists. They do a nice job. When they do move it, good things happen. And then on defense, they've got to stop the ball. They got to stop the ball, control the ball, then build their defense off of that.
Flipping to the home side, Joe, the Honey Badgers keys to the game presented by CDICR.
Yeah, the first one is the Easton Flowers debut. These two players haven't had a chance to play with each other, and this is a big day to watch them play. And we can critique it at the end, but they need these last 3 games to get together. Paint touches. This team, when the ball hits the paint, not only they score inside, but they kick it out for threes. And, you know, this is what they need to do. Cameron Tyson's the best three-point shooter in the league, and he's best when they go inside out. And then post-production. Somewhere along the line, Brampton's post got a score, and I think Keon Ambrose Hilton is the key figure. He's the one guy that I just still think that they can get a whole lot more out of.
All right, let's take a look at the starting lineups for both teams. First, for the visiting Montreal Alliance, it'll be Quincy Guerrier, Guillaume Boucard, Blondo Chukwuenyo, Lou Williams, and Prince Odro. Odro returning to the CAA Center for the first time as a member of the Montreal Alliance. And for the Honey Badgers, it'll be Roddy Peters, Trenton Flowers, Matthew Moncrief, Tegra Ize, and Sean East. As Joe mentioned, the first time we get to see Trenton Flowers and Sean East together, arguably one of the best backcourts in the Canadian Elite Basketball League without even playing a game. All right, Joe, players to watch. First, for the visiting Alliance, who do you have?
Yeah, the heart and soul of this Montreal franchise is Quincy Guerrier, the hometown product, you know, who's played at Syracuse, Oregon, Illinois. You know, 905, represented Canada. He's inside out. They've asked him a lot this year to play bigger. And his tough responsibility, because they make him guard guys that are bigger and stronger, but they ask him to use his quickness. And inside, he has to be able to face up and shoot it. He is a quality player, and he's had 2 great games in his last 2.
And your player to watch for Brampton is Sean East.
Yeah, coming off 31 points, 25 in the second half at Winnipeg. Averaging 24 points a game, number 3 scorer in the CEBL, 36 minutes. This guy, they brought him in to do everything. And right now, he came back from Summer League. He's ready to go. And now I want to see what he does with Flowers. But this guy can outright score. He can steal the ball, leads the league in steals, and he's a good assist guy.
So Sean East, 2 games back since the Summer League absence, averaging 31 points per game. Well, these 2 teams have met 3 times this season. Brampton won the first meeting back in May, and then Montreal took the next 2 meetings, one in June and one in July. And it's the 15th all-time meeting between these 2 Eastern Conference foes. Good to see Prince Odro. They had a little moment there. They showed a graphic on the board here to honor a player that is in the record books throughout the Brampton franchise. Of course, he was part of the 2022 team that won when the team was still in Hamilton.
Yeah, and a Brampton guy, you know, just didn't work out for him this year, but he's been around for a while. I'm looking at this Montreal starting lineup. This is something you don't see much. You got 4 Canadians in the starting lineup with 1 import. So it just tells you how they've built their team. And then now they're going to ask Quincy Guerrier. He's got a big responsibility. His big job is he can't get himself into foul trouble.
Well, tip-off is presented by Spalding, the official game ball of the CEBL. Brampton entering with a 10-11 record. That's good for 2nd place in the East. Montreal entering with a 10-13 record. So both of these teams down the stretch in a packed Eastern Conference, still jostling for position. Probably the most competitive year we've had in the Canadian Elite Basketball League in terms of playoff position this late in the season. Well, the Alliance are ready. The Honey Badgers are ready. Let's play some CEBL hoops from B-Town. Tip-off is underway here. Won by Montreal, rocking the blue unis. And looks like the shot clock did not start. So we've got a quick whistle here, 6 seconds into the game.
Yeah, nice to know the referees are ready.
Officials checking in with one another. And they want 20 seconds on the shot clock. All right, let's try it again here. Here's Guillaume Boucard. Over to Quincy Guerrier.
Brampton surprising, coming out in a 2-3 zone.
Trying a wild card option here on defense. Chukwuenyo. He's got the ball. He's stuck here. Flowers and East strong up top on the defense, and the pass down low is picked off by Moncrief.
Yeah, a quick surprise. Brampton causes a turnover with the zone defense.
Roddy Peters up top, another recent pickup here, joined the team on the Western road trip, which was the 2 games in Saskatoon and Winnipeg. And right there, Trenton Flowers, welcome back.
Yeah, Trent Flowers coming back from a knee injury. We thought it was season ending, and fortunate for Brampton, it wasn't.
Suffered that injury in Niagara at the Meridian Center on the second game of a home-and-home not so long ago, but he only missed the 2 games out west. Almost want to call it a miracle when you watched him go down there in Niagara. Here's Prince Odro fading, and welcome back Prince as well.
A nice post up in there. Brampton goes back to man, so maybe the zone was something they were showing right off the bat, just for a little bit of confusion.
Odro averaging 7 points per game in 8 contests with Montreal. Of course, started the season here in Brampton. Here's Peters, pushing inside. Nice take there from Roddy.
What a pleasant surprise Roddy Peters has been.
Played in the G League overseas, recently finished season in Mexico. 31-year-old vet that they're really going to lean on down the stretch here, a complete player. Chicoweño takes a shot there, and Tegra Ize pulls down the board, earning his 2nd start of the season. He got the start in Winnipeg for matchup purposes. The 24-year-old taking advantage of his opportunity. Peters driving inside into the corner. Moncrief wide open and well wide of the rim.
I love that take by Peters. He doesn't catch and shoot. He just goes and explodes on the catch.
Gourrier stuck on the baseline, able to dish it off. Odro inside, same shot, different result this time. Couldn't buy the bounce. And Flowers able to secure the loose ball. He wants to push. Peters in transition. And quick play there from the new Honey Badgers.
And this is where Montreal's very good at defensive transition. They can't allow Brampton to break out and score easy like that.
You did say Montreal needs to control the pace here. Brampton's having it their way so far. Williams inside, trying to draw the foul, won't get it. Keon Ambrose Hilton will check into the game on the next whistle. East. He's got space. Sean East fires and hits from deep.
Yeah. You said it, Matt. He's got space, and if he's got space, he's got a shot. He's got maximum range, so space is what he needs.
37% shooter from behind the arc. Here's Odro, 3rd shot from that same spot, and he hits another. East again calling for the screen. Ize comes out. On the mismatch now, Odro guarding his former teammate. Sean dishes it. Moncrief slams it. Oh, pretty stuff from Brampton.
And that's where Brampton got into the paint. Sean East got there, and then he dictated the offense. Moncrief made himself visible. When he goes to the rim, it's nothing but a flush.
Boucard left wide open down low, and a little bit of miscommunication there by Peters and Flowers. They straighten things out.
Both teams have lost a defender on the baseline.
Here's East. This time box at the triple.
Guillaume Boucard responsible for Sean East.
Flowers pulls up, leaves it well short. Thought he was knocked. Won't get the call. Montreal pushing back the other way. Here's Odro. Gourrier guarded by Moncrief. 2 big fellas going at it, and Moncrief wins the battle this time. Only had 1 whistle, and that was to correct the shot clock here. Here's East over Odro. Off the back rim, Moncrief has it. Peters wide open. No good. Ize fighting down low. He's got the rock, and he's fouled.
One of the problems when you switch in the case of Montreal, it's not that you're giving up a shot. It's when the big is out there, like Odro's out on the perimeter, it's those rebounds. You'd love to find a way to get Odro back inside, but when you switch him on East, he's eliminated from lots of the shots.
Keon Ambrose Hilton checks into the game for Brampton. In for Montreal, Jack Hemphill and Keyshawn Barthélemy. This Eastern Conference game is presented by Lotto Max. 14 seconds on the shot clock, Brampton. Inbounding on the baseline, and Sean wastes no time off the glass.
Yeah, nice little screen for Sean. They've run that all season.
Bartholomew trying to create space, goes into the corner. Boucard driving baseline, contact. No call, but a bucket for G.
The veteran Guillaume Boucard goes right to the rim, plays through the contact.
Oh, East shakes his man with a nice fake, fires, and Odro's got the board.
A fortunate rebound. If you're going to make a mistake, don't make it on Sean East.
Well, Sean East has not lost a step since missing a handful of games with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cutting inside, nice bucket there. That was Lou Williams.
Montreal will play it deep in the clock. They'll run stuff, then they'll attack the basket. They're an efficient team.
3-point lead for Brampton. Here's Flowers. Trying to play, steps back, triple. In and out, Ambrose Hilton tried to tip it.
That's why you want Prince Odro near the rim, because he's a big body and he likes to use it.
Prince, the all-time rebounds leader in Honey Badger franchise history with 470. Nice cut back door there. Moncrief with another board, his third. Peters looking up floor. Couple of head fakes. Peters dishes off. Moncrief fouled on his way to the hoop.
And that's an example. We talk about Montreal. You got to stop the ball. If you stop the ball, you can start building your defense. In that case, the ball never got stopped. And the trailing runner came down the middle and Moncrief got himself to the free throw line.
Foul shots coming up for Matthew Moncrief. 13-10, Brampton on top of Montreal early. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
That's what we do.
Scan the QR code for your chance to win the ultimate CEBL Finals trip, courtesy of redtag.ca. You could score round-trip flights, a 2-night hotel stay, and courtside seats to the CEBL Finals. Visit cebl.ca/redtag for more details. Brampton Honey Badgers up 3 points on the Montreal Alliance here in the CAA Center, the lone game in the Canadian Elite Basketball League tonight. Mapanomi Joe Razo, Francisca Opong, thanks for joining us. And the Brampton Honey Badgers started off strong there, and then Montreal punched back with a couple of strong offensive possessions themselves.
But a couple transition buckets here, so you've already got one layup, and now you got an opportunity to get two at the free throw line.
Moncrief at the stripe. Had a great series his last 4 games, 12 points per game, 90% from the field.
This is where he struggled, and I'm confused sometimes. I think he's got himself a nice release here. I like the way he shoots the free throws, but the numbers just haven't shown it.
Yeah, just a 38% free throw shooter on the season. He's 30 for 79 entering that trip.
So switch your zone again, 2-3 here for Brampton.
3 ball is up, and 3 ball is good. That was Lou Williams from deep. He's looking for some help. Ambrose Hilton. Odro stuck to him like glue.
These two guys have practiced most of the season till before Odro left for Montreal.
Cam Tyson, the 3-point specialist, had to dish off there. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Here's East. Sean trying to create some room. Drives, gets the lane, and gets 2 more.
Yeah, sometimes you forget how he's a lefty, and he can go either way, but he pushes that ball. He attacks with strength, and I love when he goes, even with the layups. His head never leaves the rim.
East has 7 of the 16. Odro. Hemphill down low, trying to go to work. Here's Boucard. Back up top, Williams another three. This time no good. Ambrose Hilton trying to get in the way. Create a diversion here from East, and they get the switch onto Odro. Exactly what Sean wants. East trying to go to work. Able to shake Odro, tries the same move. Bump to the floor, no call.
One of the strengths of Prince Odro is on ball screens, he'll take on the challenge of going up against guards.
He's an athletic big, to say the least. Hemphill. Good defense there from Moncrief. Now it's East's turn to guard Odro. He settles for the fading baseline Jimmy.
They're making it a point. They go two bigs on the floor, Montreal. And Hemphill is a face-up big. Watch this guy shoot the three. So when you can go high-low with him at the top, it's a good play.
Odro's got 6 points so far, one off his game average, and we're still in the first quarter. Tyson off the screen, fires. Moncrief trying to fly through the air, couldn't tip it in.
Brampton needs to get Tyson back to the form that he was early in the season. Since he's come back from the NBA Summer League, he just hasn't had the same shot effect that he had early.
Set the Brampton single game record earlier this season with 10 threes.
There's a good example of Hemphill coming to the high post, ready to shoot the ball.
East keeps it for himself, able to weave for two.
Yeah, he penetrates that paint. He's looking to finish, but if you take away that lane, he'll throw it out.
Lead back up to three. Odro double teamed and almost tossed it into the backcourt. Bartholomew trying to draw the foul on Moncrief. He's got to go. 5 on the shot clock. Williams driving inside. Moncrief. Bump bodies on the way up.
No panic in Montreal's offense. They bring it down to 2 seconds on the shot clock. The ball keeps moving. They create some closeouts. Good attack. This is the pace that Montreal wants. I know they're behind with 28 seconds to go, but they've got the game in, not even in the 20s. They're good with that.
Subs coming in for both teams. Cal Tires, a proud partner and tire expert of the CEBL. Shop top tire brands and have peace of mind with Cal Tires price match guarantee. Shop and book at caltire.com.
So Brampton can get the ball back with 28 seconds. Not enough time to go down and try to get, 2 possessions out of this. So you watch them to grind the clock a little bit, get the shot in late, maybe get a second chance with an offensive rebound.
Williams hits the first. Had the target score time winner against Brampton on July 10th. Knocks a second as well. Trent Johnson coming in the game as Hemphill will head to the bench here.
Trent Johnson's been a pleasant surprise. First-year player out of Cambridge, Ontario. He just comes in, he shoots the basketball real well, but he's played very well this year for Montreal.
Had a big-time game against Winnipeg, 22-point outing, which was a season high. Going to see some time here to close out the first quarter. But a 4-second difference between the game clock and shot clock.
So 10 seconds will be their starting point.
On the reverse layup, no good there. Now Montreal will have the last shot. 3 seconds. Guerrier almost picked off. He's got a fire to beat the buzzer. And good defense there. That was stopped inside. So at the end of the first quarter of play, 18-17, Brampton on top of Montreal. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus. Stick around.
Welcome back to the CAA Center, everyone. Confidence is growing for the Montreal Lions after picking up a big win against Vancouver the other day. They believe that they can compete with almost every team in the league after competing and getting that win. I spoke to Blondo and he told me that he understands how valuable every game is remaining, especially with several Eastern Conference teams separated by just a few wins. The goal is now simple for the Montreal Lions to just keep winning, create some separation in the standings, and put themselves in the best position possible for the playoffs. Guys?
Thank you, Francisca. Of course, this Montreal Alliance team playing their season finale right now, and Flowers hits from the baseline.
Yeah, Trent Flowers is just a super ISO guy. We saw him get to the middle. We can get to his spots with the dribble.
He's got 4 points and limited minutes there in the first quarter. The coaching staff telling us that he is 100% good to go, fully cleared. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Boucard driving inside. Ambrose Hilton swats it into the first row.
And that's what Ambrose Hilton's a great athlete. And Guillaume Boucard is a nice attacker, but Ambrose Hilton was able to catch up and use his length. So you watch, he gets by, he doesn't quit on it. Rear contest, he gets a hand on it.
Trying to draw the foul there, no luck. That one was pulled down by Jordan Miner underneath the basket. Flowers has Miner, calls his own number up with the left.
And Montreal does a nice job of gang rebounding. People don't break until they board, and you can see all 5 of them get to the glass.
Johnson, push back out to the perimeter. Boucard hits.
Inside out basketball, the easiest 3 in basketball. Guillaume Boucard, not known for his 3-point shooting, but you give him that opportunity, he's going to step up and take it.
Ambrose Hilton, not normally a 3-point shooter. Boucard will take the easy rebound. Tied at 20. Bartholomew cutting inside, and he gets the bucket. Just like that, Montreal in front by 2.
Montreal will pick where they're going to run, and they're only going to do it in an advantage situation. Real nice execution of a 3-on-2.
And is it a travel? Yes, it is. Roddy Peters, one too many steps there, as Prince Odro will check back into the game.
Montreal wants to control the pace. They want to make you feel like you're sitting in the dentist chair. You know, just slow and like it's just going to be a grind.
Yeah, this was a team that, if you ask around the Canadian Elite Basketball League, play much better than their record would show.
So zone again here for Brampton.
Trying to throw the Alliance off their game here on the offensive end. Boucard, same spot. Off back rim. Flowers had to chase it down. Trenton pushing. Flips into the corner. Brandon Muntu knocks down the jumper.
It wasn't a transition score, but it was a secondary. They got the ball in the paint. They created the closeout. That's good Brampton basketball.
Muntu, one of the vocal leaders, says head coach Alex Serta. He's just 24 years old. Rookie in the Canadian Elite Basketball League. Here's Peters pushing, dishing off. And Odro with another board. He's got 4 now, along with 6 points. Bartholomew pulls up.
Again, good execution in the break. 3-on-2. They score in the secondary.
Montreal back up 2. Muntu. Over to Flowers. Guarded by Boucard. Fading. Tough shot. Drops.
Yeah, you called it. That's a tough shot. That was great defense by Guillaume Boucard. But that's Flowers. He can get to his spot with the dribble.
We'll get to see East back on the court in a moment here. Shot short there by Bartholomew. Peters pushing. Flowers almost lost control. Able to regain. Wants to push inside. Steps back. How about another for Trenton? Sean East loving it on the sidelines. And the Honey Badgers up 2.
And that was a great example. The ball doesn't stop. Keep the ball moving. Find the situation. And Flowers is not just using the dribble up. He's using it to get to a spot.
26-24 in the second quarter. Brampton back in front. We're going to take a break at the table. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
The CDIC was established by the government.
New Era is the exclusive game uniform partner of the CEBL and all 10 of its teams from coast to coast. Pick up your official replica jerseys now by visiting CEBL.ca. Well, Trenton Flowers and Sean East both on the floor right now. Joe, they've done a brunt of the scoring for Brampton so far. East with a team-high 9 points. Flowers with 8 combining for 17 of the 26.
And they've done it together, and they've done it when one of the guys was off the floor in substitution. So the strength of having 2 alpha dogs on the court who can score on offense is pretty impressive. Again, after this timeout, Brampton showing the 2-3 zone.
Sean East says he was excited to play with Flowers. Curious how they would gel. They've done a darn good job so far. Into the corner, 3 ball, good. That was Bartholomew.
Nice patience again by Montreal. They get it to the high post. They have a plan. They execute the plan. Everybody on the same page. Good zone offense.
Ottawa back in front, and a foul is called. So Moncrief able to draw the personal. And this one on Guillaume Boucard, but it'll be on the baseline.
Yeah, Guillaume Boucard might be one of the most important, if not the most important player on the defensive end for Montreal, because he's going to have the responsibility of stopping the ball against Sean East or against Trent Flowers. He can guard either.
He's a veteran that jumped around from Niagara and Montreal, and he's back in Montreal this year. Won a championship with the River Lions. Williams steps to his left. Odro fighting for it, and Ambrose Hilton able to pull it down. Flowers trying to find the lane, spins, and Odro swats.
Prince Odro's an athlete, and he's got something to play for here today. He's at home.
Williams smoked the layup. Flowers in transition. Pulls it down behind the back. Moncrief slams it. Oh, what was that?
Hey, the benefit of chasing down the ball. Moncrief ran on the pass, and just in case he needed to be open, and he was.
Unreal stuff. The Honey Badgers showing off some creativity on the offensive end. Prince pocket picked. And a whistle comes, so a foul against Brampton. Let's take a look at this Moncrief jam here, the feed from Flowers.
Push the ball forward when you can. And check Flowers. He knows he's coming. And Montreal gets caught watching the ball, and nobody runs the floor like Moncrief when there's a dunk at the other end.
I'd get caught watching too, I think, in
Like
awe.
Yeah, he runs downhill.
Seen that all season. Built like a football player. Courier, count the bucket.
Yeah, you know, as coaches, we would say there's some players who run downhill on offense and uphill on defense, right? And Moncrief, you give him an opportunity to eat some rim, he will.
So a timeout on the floor as Courier will have a chance at 3 points in just a moment. Brampton up 1. What about Quincy Courier? He has been the team MVP in Montreal. Back for his second season with the Alliance. He was a 2025 CEBL All-Canadian team member last year. And he's got double-digit points in 15 of 18 games, so he's the go-to guy for Jermaine Small.
And came off of injury. The last 2 games, he's been sensational coming off that injury. He's off to Romania next year. Here's a guy who's been in NBA camps. He played, for the national team. He's a heck of a player. And the nice thing about it is he can play the perimeter at the 3 spot, or he can play inside and guard different guys. He's the key guy on this team. He's the guy they look for, when come target time and in big situations.
And one of the things, too, that's very valuable in Guerrier's play is he's consistent. He started 41 games that he's played for Montreal. 41 games across 2 seasons. That's the total amount that he has played. He started all of those. And he leads the team this season in points with 278 in rebounds with 136 entering tonight.
Yeah, Montreal does a good job of keeping Montrealers at home.
So Guerrier going to the line.
So how about 9 assists, 1 turnover? That's what Montreal's had so far today, and they're doing an absolute great job of moving the ball, creating closeouts, getting themselves to the free throw line.
And Guerrier able to complete the 3-point play. Let's check in with Francisca.
Matt, Coach Alex was really, really fired up during that last timeout, but his message to his team wasn't to panic. It was actually the opposite. He was telling his team to stay calm, stay patient, and continue trusting the game plan as they try to finish this half out strong. Matt?
Thank you, Francisca. Flowers able to draw the foul. He'll head to the free throw line for 2 shots here. Really interesting thing about this Brampton team, Joe. When they went to Winnipeg, picked up that win, they went out for dinner after the game to a steakhouse. And Trenton Flowers, as we mentioned, wasn't on the road trip because of injury. Well, Sean East, who he had only met a couple of times, FaceTimed him during the dinner. And that just spoke so much to the camaraderie and chemistry that this team has, the culture that's been built by head coach Alex Serta and the front office. Flowers part of the team even though he wasn't there.
And the fact that the 2 of them haven't played together all season till tonight.
The only unfortunate thing is Flowers didn't get any steak that night. But he's happy with the road win. Here's Odro. Nice move there, unable to get that to drop. Alliance, no bucket on that shot, but they'll get another chance here.
And you just see, they move the ball, they get on the boards. This Montreal team just wants to play their type of basketball, and they'll wear you down and force you to play their game.
Here's Odro. Going at Ize, fading away. Oh, classic Prince.
Yeah, Prince has showed us the right and the left.
He's got 8 points, 5 boards. Montreal with a 3-point lead. 15-11, Alliance outscoring Brampton this quarter. Williams pushes Flowers back to the perimeter. Here's Cam Tyson. 5 on the shot clock. Tyson fading. Tough shot. Money.
And Cam Tyson's a great shooter and incredibly very good on inside outs, but there he showed you a little bit with the bounce.
Tyson's first 2 points of the night. Going to need to get him going. Valuable piece off the bench now. Ize, good defense there on Odro.
I think that was a little ambitious on Prince's part. Playing through Prince is one thing. Him making that tough shot. Just keep the ball moving. That's Montreal basketball.
East tucks and rolls 2 off the glass.
Sean East is thicker than you think. He's got that strength, and he just extends that left hand on the finger rolls. That's 3 times tonight he's done that.
He's up to 11 points. First Honey Badger in double digits. Odro looking for an option. Backdoor feed, and Moncrief was lurking. Guerrier scoops and slams.
But the backdoor option was there. East was trying to keep him away from the basketball.
So East able to draw the foul as Peters and Muntu will come back in for Brampton. And it'll be Hemphill and Johnson coming back in for Ottawa. Lotto Max now gives you even more chances to win with new prizes of $100,000 every draw. Get your Lotto Max ticket tonight. Must be 18 plus. Moncrief almost pushed out of bounds. East Had to wrestle that ball from Williams. Eze goes for the screen. Moncrief looking inside. Here's Peters. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Peters spinning up with the left. Oh, that's the money shot for Brampton tonight.
Nice attack by Peters. Hemphill's got to know that he's got Eze and you can play off there. But Peters again goes to the basket.
Peters had an unreal game against Winnipeg. 22 points, 8 boards, 7 helpers. Looking to build off of it. Moncrief, good defense. That goes out of bounds. Eze saying that it went off of Hemphill.
I really think Peters has really solidified the backcourt here for Brampton. I thought one of the issues they had early in the season was you could pressure their backcourt. And as the season was going on, people were pressuring the ball. Brampton was starting further and further away from the three-point line. I think now with his experience and his size, all of a sudden they're going to get themselves right back to where they were.
Peters reached out to the team. There was mutual interest earlier in the season. Guerrier has to toss up a shot there to try to beat the buzzer. And here is the aforementioned Peters. Over to Moncrief. Flowers has it. Pull things back out. Serta calling a play. Flowers drives and the foul called. So $1:48 to go in the half. And it's just the 4th team foul on Montreal as we have a timeout on the floor here. Jermaine Small upset with the call, but now he's going to get a chance to talk shop with his team.
Montreal, and Jermaine Small's been in this league long enough. Coached, at Edmonton for 4 years, got 2 championships there. Came in this league. You watch him. He uses substitutions, stoppage of play, timeouts better than anyone else. This plays to him controlling the pace of the game. He doesn't want things to go too fast. He doesn't want things to get out of hand. He's happy right now. This is an ugly game. He wants to play in sand. These guys want to play on the tarmac, right? They're fast. These guys just let me grind it out.
So as we mentioned, Montreal, this is their season finale, and then they'll rely on Ottawa to, I guess, take losses in order for them to secure their playoff position. But how important is that to have a veteran coach like Jermaine Small, Joe, a guy that's been to the big dance a couple of times, won a couple of titles with Edmonton, 2-time coach of the year. How important is it to have a presence like that to allow your team to focus on just themselves rather than scoreboard watch?
I think it becomes a big picture thinker right off the bat, but man, it becomes real valuable once you get into the playoffs. Or once you find yourself where you're in a failure's fatal situation. Then all of a sudden you can rely on, I've been here, I've done that. And so, this is where he's going to shine, and he's going to hopefully pay it off for Montreal. Montreal goes in a little matchup on baseline out of bounds.
East tosses it up. Flowers throws it down. Oh, the best backcourt in the CEBL flexing.
Yeah, nothing wrong with Trent Flowers' knee now. Passes the test.
Well, we were waiting for something like that. Head coach Serta has done such a good job out of the timeouts this season. Here's Johnson. Peters was chasing him. Moncrief meets him at the baseline, and a good defensive stop. Serta fired up on the sideline.
Yeah, Brampton did a nice job of keeping the ball on one side of the floor, not allowing Montreal to reverse it.
Now, Jermaine Small not so fired up on the sideline as you see there.
This is where they need Hemphill. If he can't go inside and play through the post, play through the high post. This is where Hemphill can help them out.
Peters. Flowers, he's got 11. Give him 14.
Yeah, the veteran Peters, eh? Come on at me, young guy. I'll throw it to the next guy.
31-year-old connecting with a 21-year-old. Barthélemy, floater no good. Brandon Muntu got it. Numbers for Brampton. East drops back. Flowers cuts. Count the bucket. Oh, Trenton Flowers having it his way tonight.
When you take quick shots or shots that not everybody's all in, that's what leads to run out. 4-on-1 there by Brampton, and that was nothing but an attack.
So Flowers goes end-to-end in transition thanks to the dish by Sean East. Boy, we have seen a quarter in change here of these two, if that is any indication of what we're going to see for this late run here by Brampton, we are in for a treat. Chukwuenyo started the passing play and a foul down low. Guerrier and Peters got tied up there.
Montreal lost their identity on a couple possessions down the floor. Maybe that was Brampton's defense. So here they go right back to the post. They put Guerrier in the post, and then they run through him.
Sub coming into the game here.
Yeah, Coach, this is one where you want to save somebody with two. Watch him go after Eze.
Baseline, Guerrier now. 10 seconds on the shot clock. 10-second difference between the game and shot clock. Johnson fires. Flowers has it. Shot clock off. Final 10 seconds of the quarter. Here's Peters. East. 3 seconds to go in the half. Sean drives and blocking foul. Count the bucket.
Talk about concentration to completion. Sean East is exceptional. You foul him, he's playing through it. He's got his eye on the rim. Instead of looking for the foul, he looks for the score. Watch this, he takes it, there's the contact. His head never leaves the rim, right? And he's trying to finish, make it the easy two. Then I'll go to the free throw line and score the easy one. What a great finish to this quarter by Brampton.
East, a 91% free throw shooter on the season. Shot is up and it's good.
And even you can't jinx that.
1 second to go, good if it goes, and it does not, but what an explosive second quarter here by the Brampton Honey Badgers. They lead by 12 halfway through. Unbelievable stuff there. We saw Flowers, we saw East, we saw everything, Joe.
Yeah, we saw flow there, boy, in that last 2 minutes. It's funny, how the games will change. In the last 2 minutes, that Brampton team found their some identity, and they ran down the floor.
Flowers with 17 points in the first half. He's standing by with Francisco.
Trenton, it's been a back and forth game all night. What do you think are going to be the biggest keys going into the second half?
Just going into the second half, I just think we need to stay collectively together as a group. I think we're doing a good job. We've been working on everything that we need to work on during practice this week, and I think we're applying it right now, so that's it.
And with everything that's on the line, how much are you guys leaning on each other to stay composed in these big moments?
Oh, man, we need this game, but, hey, just for us, our mindset going into just another game. Just for our schedule coming up. So, we treat every opponent the same, and, just want to come out of here with a win.
All right, thank you. Matt?
28 points for the Honey Badgers in the second quarter. They lead by double digits. We're halfway through here at the CAA Center, 46-34. Brampton on top. We're going to take a break, but we'll break down the whole first half in just a moment. Stick around. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
13-0 run.
That gives some space for Burns, who doesn't get the roll. Fighting for the rebound. Karnik is the one coming in with it. Might not look it on TV, but he is massive. And here's a flop finish.
And at the end of 3, it's Montreal 75. Third.
Trying to settle things down. Watched by Vinales. And Turquavion Smith. And Kyle Vinales just laughs. Look at Turk from a long way out, from the star.
He's at the logo. You're thinking, come on, no way, I dare you. Bingo.
This is a gritty game. The points are harder to come by as it goes on. Really getting that playoff feel. You can tell these teams are feeling it. Karnik, it goes in hard with the slam.
Good body language. Let the ref know that you somewhat question it, but
Here's one. Strike the pose on that dunk. Ottawa. And here's a Lou Williams third dunk on that mistake by Cleveland.
all right, of course, the toughness. It's always ideal when your point guard actually.
Lindsay on the baseline. Lindsay tried to get inside. The Surge had numbers and made him count. Patterson with a path to the glass. Swan Roger! How about that? Let me give you something here. On the move from Addy Patterson.
Scary moments. Karnik rolling. James Karnik shuts it down. LEC, turn out the lights.
So this game is definitely not over.
Elvis.
Frosty inbound and Moore throws it down. Pressure on. Turn. Let's bring it on. It's game time. It's showtime.
Or in the heat of
Back inside the CAA Center, Brampton 46, Montreal 34. Mapinomi alongside Joe Razzo and Francisco Opong. And Joe, this second quarter of action was big time for Brampton. It was almost everything that we've been waiting to see from a full roster, which we finally have here.
Yeah, and then you accentuated with the last 2 minutes, but Montreal did a real nice job. But then the two main guys, you look at Flowers, got himself in ISO situations. He used the dribble when they needed it. And then when you let this team run, they took off with 5. And they push it and space the floor. And the orchestrator here is Sean East because he can finish at it. And you watch his strength. He uses his size and he uses that left hand. But then when you don't keep your eyes on Flowers, the other one comes back and gets you. And Flowers delivers a bouquet to the rim.
Flowers with a game-high 17 points. Sean East with 14. They combined for 31 in the first half. So Brampton clicking on all cylinders as we take a look at some Montreal highlights here. And they kind of took control in that first quarter. Like you said, they were controlling the pace, but the second quarter slipped away a little bit.
I thought, they did an absolutely great job there. until the final 2 minutes. They controlled the pace. They only had two turnovers. They didn't give up any baskets and runs. They had 9 assists compared to those 2 turnovers. They did a nice job. They attacked the zone. They got different people involved. And they were doing everything they wanted. And as soon as they started changing a little bit, taking some bad shots, Brampton took advantage of it, and that's where Brampton got them. And so that 13-0 run to finish the quarter is the complete difference, and it's why the score is where it is.
Just 5 different scorers for Montreal as well. As we take a look at some halftime stats here for both teams, and one of the things that you said really stuck out to you, Joe, was the turnovers. Brampton doing an excellent job of taking care of the basketball, just a single turnover in the first half.
Yeah, you know what? Because 3 turnovers combined. So that's absolutely incredible. Those are great numbers. But look at the efficiency of Brampton. Not knocking down the 3. That's okay because you're shooting 57% at the 2s and you're attacking the rim and you're getting yourself to the rim. But the rebounding number, getting that lead on the rebounds has been real good. They haven't given up second chances to Montreal.
Head coach Alex Serta said that Brampton lost the game against Saskatoon a couple of days ago because of ball control issues. Well, tonight they've got things under control. They've got a 12-point lead halfway through, 46-34, trying to punch their ticket to the playoffs for the first time since 2023. Montreal trying to play spoiler. Stick around, second half action coming your way. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
.com. He's ooh, never mind.
Back inside the CAA Center, the Brampton Honey Badgers 46, the Montreal Alliance 34. Mapanomi alongside the coach Joe Razzo. Third member of our team is Francisco Pong. And Joe, your players to watch did pretty good in the first half. Sean East exploded in that second quarter. He's got 14 points.
Yeah, he just played like pure Sean East. You give him an opportunity to shoot it, he's going to knock it down. You give him to the rim, he's going to do it. You give him a chance to throw up the assist, he's going to do it. He's going to read and react and make the smart play. This was a great performance by Sean East, and he was in complete control.
And Quincy Guerrier as well, 5 points. So Brampton did a good job of containing his offensive power in the first half.
Yeah, you know what? They did a nice job because they're coming off of help, always looking for Quincy. He's the main guy. They know that. It's not like option 2 is at that point. Quincy Guerrier has led this team, and Brampton's done a nice job of slowing them down.
Let's check back in with Francisca, who's standing by with Montreal head coach Jermaine Small.
Coach, Brampton went on a 13-0 run, shooting 57% from the field goal right before that half ended. What changed for your guys in that stretch?
Yeah, I mean, we took some questionable shots, and it led to runouts. I mean, and they did a good job of getting the rebound and, pushing up down the floor. So I just give them credit for making that run.
And your team has one more half to go in the regular season with the playoffs on the line. What was the talk in the locker room?
Urgency. Like you just said, it could be our very last game. We don't want to leave our fate in somebody else's hands. So we got to come out with urgency and get back to what we do.
All right, thanks, Coach. Matt, Joe?
Thank you, Francisca. Urgency seems to be the message there, Joe, and that's exactly what Montreal will need to do. They'll need to come out flying here, and they want to punch back Brampton with some offensive power here. And again, we'll take a look at the stats from the first half from Joe's players to watch, Sean East and Quincy Guerrier. East averaging 24 points per game, good for 3rd in the Canadian Elite Basketball League. We wondered how he would follow up that career high 38 points against Winnipeg, and he's done a good job of finding the bottom of the bucket.
Yeah, the ball starts with him, which is great, and sometimes the ball finishes with him. But he doesn't force it. That's the part I like about it. Some guys would be in there and ice everybody out. He found Trenton Flowers. He finds this guy in transition. He's a good point guard and a good leader.
And you can't speak enough about the passing ability of Sean East either. I mean, we talk about him being a scorer and how he can get to the rim, but his ability to dish the rock is second to none.
Yeah, he's really, like I said, he doesn't force it. It's a read and react. You saw that pass to Flowers on the baseline, and he's the league leader in steals. So he does it on both ends of the floor.
All right, we're getting late in the season. It's time for our Red Tag Path to the Playoffs update. Here's how everything shakes out right now. And this right here, this is the B word right here, Joe. This is beautiful. A jam-packed Eastern Conference. The Western Conference also sticky up top with Vancouver and Winnipeg. It's funny because in the East, one game could flip from 2 to 5 completely.
Yeah, you look at Brampton, Niagara, and Ottawa all trying to host playoff games. They're all still fighting for the second spot. But Brampton controls that right now with those 3 games. If Brampton can run out with their 3 wins, they're going to get that. And then you look at out West. You've got, no matter what happens in Friday's game, Sunday Vancouver plays Winnipeg in Vancouver. Winner wins the pennant.
Yeah, Winnipeg facing Ottawa tomorrow. So if they do get that win, 14-9 would be the Sea Bears and the Bandits. And as you said, Joe, right down to the wire, it's almost storybook kind of stuff. Those 2 teams battling out for top in the West is all you could ask for here in the CEBL.
And the key part is, if Winnipeg wins Sunday, then they would have the tiebreaker against Vancouver.
Second half action set to begin here at the CAA Center. Audreau, Guerrier, Williams, Boucard, and Chuqueño for Montreal. Ise, Flowers, Peters, Moncrief, and East for Brampton. And Guerrier fouled 11 seconds into the half. Looks like he got poked in the eye there, and that will be on Ise.
Yeah, I like Montreal's opening set there. They go to Prince, they play through Prince, and they bring big against big. So Prince is a good passer. Then they flash Guerrier from the weak side to the middle. Play to your strength.
Guerrier at the line. A 2-game heater his last 2 outings. 29 points per game on 54% from the field, including 10 boards per contest.
You said we looked at the matchups, and Guerrier only had the 5 points, but this is right off the bat. Where do they run a play for him?
So he connects on both. Moncrief was trying to play it off the rim, but couldn't do so. Here's Sean East. Ball in his hands. And offensive foul called, and you're nodding your head there, Joe. That might have been an obvious one.
Yeah, you know what? He's a nice, big, strong guy. As long as you got that nice wide base, don't need the body check. That's a turnover. You don't want to give Montreal a little momentum here early to start this game, or start the second half.
2 fouls in about 20 seconds for Ise, and Williams connects. So a quick 5-0 run here for the Alliance.
A little indecision by Eze on both ends of the floor.
Brampton need a bucket here to stop the bleeding. East fires that off Eze's leg. Moncrief was wide open for a split second, but Odro was looming. 5 on the shot clock. Here's East. Odro almost got a piece of it. Big man wanted to run, but the outlet pass not there. Guerrier driving, contact, and Eze just picked up his 3rd personal foul. So he's got 3 fouls in about a minute's time.
What I love about that transition by Montreal, Guerrier could have settled for the 3. But what he did, he said, no, I got a lane here. I got a chance of going to the basket. I love his decision there. And there was almost a turnover, but he made a nice attack at the basket. And here's Montreal answering the 13-0 run with a run of their own.
This Eastern Conference game is presented by Lotto Max. Interesting move here. Eze comes out of the game, 7-foot center. He's replaced by Brandon Muntu, who's a 6'4" guard. So I guess just a plethora of depth on the bench here and on the floor for head coach Alex Serta.
And, you know, you're Brampton, you can go small because there's no true center on the floor for Montreal. Like Prince Odro, I guess, would be. But you can match up with Moncrief on Odro, and you're going to ask Flowers now. Flowers is going to have the job of stopping Guerrier.
Boucard's trying to stop East. Double teamed, good defense there from G, and he bats it out of bounds.
Yeah, Guillaume Boucard, that's his calling card. That's where he's made his career. On-ball defender, uses it, you know, pressure on the ball. They can't run their offense if you can't pass the ball clearly.
Brampton clinging to a 5-point lead. East goes cross-court to Moncrief. Challenges Odro, thinks twice. 5 on the shot clock, Sean East. He's got 14 points. Boucard's got a block. And Montreal, a defensive stop.
Yeah, that's a Guillaume Boucard highlight film, that whole possession. First he blocks the pass, then he blocks the shot.
That's called the school of Dave Smart. Boucard, a 5-time national champion with the Carleton Ravens. A veteran that knows what to do on both ends of the floor. Here's Odro. 8 points, 5 boards. Moncrief playing some honest defense. Odro tosses it up and gets the roll. A stare down for the Brampton bench.
I thought he tossed it up with a prayer before he stared on the bench. Like, that was a great take. Just can't force it if you're Prince.
Whatever it was answered. And a prayer answered there. Muntu falling into the Montreal bench. So that stops a 9-0 Alliance run to start the half. Ball up top. Williams, nice fake off the window. Easy stuff there. Brampton's defense falling apart. And head coach Serta not happy.
So, Matt, it's all about moving the basketball. This is Montreal's strength. Move the basketball, create closeouts, go get it, attack the basket. Super job. Montreal playing defense, and now we got ourselves a game.
4-point lead for Brampton. Timeout on the floor. We're going to take a timeout at the table. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
So when the ball moves, the defense has to move. You create indecisions, cross-court passes, one more step. Defense can't get themselves set. They can't control the ball. Great offense by Montreal. No ball stoppers. They get 5 stars for that.
That's only one of the couple defensive possessions that we've seen Brampton kind of break down there.
But it's Montreal's willingness to move the basketball, and it started off with a nice cross-court pass and hit the guy that's open.
49-45. Sean East with the ball in his hands. Trenton Flowers. Little hot potato between the two guards. East, a lot of contact, fires and hits.
So you saw some coaching going on. Jermaine Small switches up defenses on somebody else's timeout. Does a great job 2-3 zone, but sometimes no matter what you do, a guy like Sean East can just score.
Boucard challenging Flowers. Too strong there from G.
Yeah, the high flyer is not the great challenge, is he?
Roddy driving, and he was slapped in the eye. He's not happy there. Odro with some words for Peters. So a pair of veterans exchanging as Peters will head to the free throw line.
Yeah, and Prince, it's an emotional day. Like, he's played for this franchise for 4 years. He can't get himself out of the game emotionally. He's got to keep himself in check.
Honey Badgers fans, Canada's Pro Basketball League is back, and you can experience it live from the CAA Center. Scan the QR code or visit honeybadgers.ca/tickets. So we'll have the Scarborough Shooting Stars, the top team in the league, in the building on Saturday night. That's a 7:30 start. And then Brampton will go on the road Monday, 4 p.m. start, home and home with the Shooting Stars, as both officials talking to Peters and Odro, and they're confirming that the foul is on Prince Odro. So Peters at the line, first is up and first is good. Roddy Peters from Suitland, Maryland, home of Kevin Durant. Peters can't hit the second. So Peters with 7 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists in about 17 minutes of play. Stuck up top was Chukwuemeka. Williams, top side, triple, rattles in.
Yeah, nice screen there up top. Williams is maybe the best shooter tonight for Montreal, steps right into an open J.
Game high 15 points. East. Minor, backdoor feed, East. Jumper, you bet.
This is what Sean East does. He doesn't force it. He reads and reacts. You take away that, I'll go to the counter. The counter was the backdoor cut. You take away my drive, I'll hit the pull-up J.
Nice passing here from Montreal. Courier couldn't climb the side of the rim. Moncrief in transition. Peters driving. Dishing, Moon 2. And Boucard able to soar through for his 3rd rebound of the night.
A little scramble here.
Pace has picked up the last couple of runs. Off the window for 2, Chukwuemeka.
Yeah, Chukwuemeka hasn't scored like he has been, but boy, talk about one of the most improved players in the league. He started off with Niagara this year as a backup point guard, and now he's a full-time starter, putting up numbers.
And 0 double-digit outings in 7 games with Niagara. He's got 8 in 9 games with Montreal. 3-ball no good there. Minor on the offensive board, but a foul was called before the shot. And this one will be on Boucard. That's his 3rd personal foul. Subs in for both teams. Hemphill and Bartholomew in for Montreal, and Ambrose Hilton in for Brampton. 5 even to go in the 3rd.
So we said losing Guillaume Boucard on defense is huge.
He's done such a good job so far. Here's Peters. Spinning. Peters looking for the call, won't get it. Guerrier able to deflect. 2 seconds on the shot clock. East sends his man flying. Chases down the offensive board. Moon 2. Shot fake into the corner. Ambrose Hilton for 3. Yes!
Good basketball, good ball movement, but it started on second chance opportunities. Montreal played great defense, didn't finish it off with the rebound, gave Brampton a chance, and they took full advantage of it.
Ambrose Hilton hits 1 of every 4 threes he takes, and he gets the money ball that time down. Hemphill responds.
And that's what Hemphill is, a face-up big who can knock down the 3.
East goes behind the back, pocket picked. Bartholomew in transition. Hemphill now running the floor. He's got 5 straight.
And Montreal gets turnover, brings the ball down the floor. The big runs the floor, good things happen.
Just like that, it's a 2-point game. Here's Peters. Peters driving. Hemphill, one hand, pulls it down. Williams in transition, goes up and count the bucket.
So what does Williams do on defense? He says, okay, Sean East is a tough load to guard when he gets the ball. Let me deny him the basketball. And he denies him the ball and ices him out of this sequence. But then after the shot goes up, he runs down the floor and takes advantage of it. Good defense leads to an easy score. We got ourselves a tie game.
Williams averaging 9 points per game. He's got 17 right now and a chance to make it 18. He is a 79% free throw shooter. 18 points for 2-3 in blue. Just like that, Montreal on top now. Now we've had 5 lead changes in the game. Brampton led by as many as 13 points. Here's Flowers. And quick whistle on the baseline. So subs will come in for both teams here. Audreau, Montreal, Moncrief, and Tyson, Brampton. That foul on Williams. And that's now Williams' 3rd personal foul.
Yeah, and again, Boucard and Williams, they're the key guys because they're asked to, guard East and Flowers.
It looks like they're bringing Boucard back in here, too. So the game plan may be to go at Boucard.
Well, this is where Chiqueno can, he's got to try to ice East out of the offense.
East thinking about the dish, goes to Moncrief. Flowers on Boucard. Trying to get him to jump. Flowers gets it off in time. Ambrose Hilton secured but lost control. Chiqueno driving. Flowers from behind. Audreau lost control midair.
We said Montreal is good when they have advantage. That 3-on-3, I don't think they had advantage.
And a rare mistake there. Sean East trying to connect with Keon Ambrose Hilton, the 2 former teammates in Edmonton, on different pages.
Yeah, East threw it at the rim, and he was throwing a fly pattern, and Ambrose Hilton ran a curl.
Audreau, some space, pushes, blocked by Ambrose Hilton. East hit the deck there. Head hit the stanchion. Looks like he's fine, though.
Good defense by East there.
Sean trying to push up with the left, switching midair.
Thought Montreal forced the last 2 shots inside. Brampton has made them pay on 50% of it.
Back and forth affair. East has 20 points. Chiqueno tosses up a prayer.
Chiqueno can get to the middle of the floor.
Now the 2 able to connect. Ambrose Hilton reeling in the East pass. Audreau with a block, and instead a foul is called.
That's the pattern, and Ambrose runs the floor. Prince O'Duru does a nice job of getting back.
So Audreau now the 3rd member of the alliance with 3 fouls. Ambrose Hilton knocks down the first free throw.
And there's not a lot of depth in bigs right now with Montreal, so this is a very important situation. This is where Hemphill's got to just come on the floor and show his size on the defensive end.
Ambrose Hilton, 59% from the line on the season. He hits both. 61 Brampton, 60 Montreal. Cam Tyson back in the game moments ago. Launching for the lead, no good there, Bartholomew. Flowers trying to go to work on Boucard. Contact, no call, looking for it, won't get it, and now he's got to get back on defense. Here's Chiqueño. Ambrose Hilton, good job clogging the lane. 10 on the shot clock. Chiqueño, another floater and another bucket.
And if you looked at Prince Odro's screen there, he didn't worry about rolling or anything. He worried about completing the screen.
East driving, dishes to Ambrose Hilton. He goes up, and finally a foul is called. Hemphill with the personal as East and Ambrose Hilton continue to discuss offensive plans.
So this lineup at the end of the second quarter got Montreal in trouble when they didn't have a big on the floor. So they've got to just be careful if you're Montreal. If you're Brampton, this is where you take advantage. Well, they kept Prince on the floor.
Ambrose Hilton at the line. Keon Ambrose Hilton, a little bit of a different role this year. He started all games he played last year with Edmonton, and this year a bit of a different story, but he is, again, like you mentioned, Joe, big man depth, a big piece off the bench here for head coach Serta.
Last year I thought he was one of the best newcomers in the league, and it just hasn't seemed to find his footing this year like he did last year. His confidence, like these rough fly patterns, him running down the floor, this is what he does. He's an athlete who can get up and down the floor. Just hasn't played with the same amount of confidence he played last year, in my opinion.
Knotted up at 62. Final 60 seconds of the third quarter. Bartholomew, another floater.
And it all starts with the ball screen up top. Prince isn't worried about anything but creating separation.
Flowers. Here's Tyson. Peters thought about the three. Tucks and Ise unable to handle it there. Big man wasn't ready.
And this is where I'm looking for Brampton to run something for Tyson.
Now Cam Tyson, just 2 points in about 6 minutes. Space, shot no good. Hemphill fighting for it, and it'll go back the other way. And we've got shots coming here as Hemphill picks up another personal. It's his second.
And that he went for the offensive rebound on that there. I think he may have used his other hand to push off a little bit.
Flowers at the line. One of the most impressive stats you'll hear all day. Entering tonight, he was 36 for 37 from the line. That's 97%. So certainly not the guy you want to see at the line if you're an Alliance fan. Knocks down both. Check that, one.
He didn't read the script.
I was trying to hide the commentator.
He didn't read the
script. You get so comfortable saying knocks down two with Trenton Flowers that I guess it's every once in a while it doesn't go your way as we have a foul down low. Cam Tyson going to pick up his first.
So Montreal started the quarter sealing up Quincy Guerrier. They're down to 24 seconds. They go back to crunch. What do? They try to seal up Quincy Guerrier.
Get your exclusive Alliance merch now, including the 2026 Summer Collection and Rep MTL hoodies to support the team during their playoff push.
So they've got Prince Odro down back in. This is telling you that Montreal is probably going to fall back into a zone here. And they got Lefebvre ready to come in just to play the last 24 seconds.
That tipped into the backcourt, and it'll go out of bounds. Brampton ball.
And this is one of the issues. So you put Prince all the way back. There's no reason for Prince to be back guarding the basket right here. He should have been at center court for that tip, right? A small mistake costs Montreal a possession.
14 seconds on the shot clock, 21-8 to go in the quarter. East back in the game for Brampton. Got the ball in his hands. 2-3 zone here from Montreal now. Final 10 seconds of the quarter. Peters. No good. That one hits rim, goes out of bounds, and Montreal will have the ball with 5.6. Got to go to length of the court, Joe.
5.6 gives you 5 dribbles. Throw in a couple passes, you're fine.
Bartholomew to beat the buzzer, yes! Coast to coast, Keyshawn finishes off the third with a pretty floater.
Did you count those dribbles, Matt? I counted 5. Nice finish by Bartholomew.
The old coach, too quick for all of us. Montreal with a 3-point lead after 3. We're going to take a break. Fourth quarter and target score time on the other side. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Jam YouTube and CEBL Plus.
Did you know that every CEBL game ends on a game-winning bucket? Yep, every single one. That's because we use something called target score ending, a thrilling twist that keeps fans locked in till the final shot. So what is the target score ending? Here's how it works. The first time the clock stops with 4 minutes or less left in the fourth quarter, the game clock is turned off. We enter target score time. We take the leading team's score, add 9 points, and that becomes the target score. Let's say it's 91-80. That means the first team to hit 100 wins. No ticking clock, no intentional fouls, just pure clutch basketball. It's fast, it's electric, and it guarantees that every game ends with a bang. Experience the target score ending this CEBL season.
Brampton came out firing in the second quarter, and now it's Montreal who come out swinging in the third. 32 points in the third frame, Joe. They had 34 total through 2 opening quarters.
When you take care of the ball, you get extra possessions. 13 assists for Montreal to only 2 turnovers. They stayed with their plan. They controlled the tempo. Can they do it for another quarter?
14 points in the paint for Montreal in that quarter as well. So they were dominant down low. Fourth quarter underway. Mapinomi, Joe Razzo, Francisca Opong. Here's Flowers. Elbow jumper, smooth.
That's nice when you've got that type of size and length and comfort. Against the zone, he got the ball and he just found his spot.
East and Flowers competing for the scoring lead for Brampton, both with 20 now, and East picks the pocket of Gourrier.
Oh, great set by Montreal. Better defense by East.
Flowers wants it. Hemphill claps his hands. He wants the challenge. Peters over to Moncrief, dishing to Ambrose Hilton. Oh, tic-tac-toe in B-Town.
Yeah. Ball move. Ambrose Hilton says, nah, I'm going to find my range. My range is the rim.
Well, that's the Keon we're used to. Brampton +1. Johnson fires down low. Gourrier flushes.
Johnson, known as a sharp shooter. What's he do? He draws 2 and he finds Gourrier underneath.
Flowers trying to work off the screen. East. Flowers deep. Triple. Too strong. East has it. Thought about this shot. Able to draw the contact. Ambrose Hilton, no. Moncrief, yes.
Keep it alive. I said one of the keys for Brampton was their post play. Right there, these last 2 possessions, the posts got big.
6-0 run by Brampton to start. And Flowers hits the floor. Foul on Hemphill.
The second time now Hemphill's got caught coming from the perimeter. So ball goes up, watch Hemphill. Hemphill comes in, he just gets his hand on Flowers. He looks like he's in a car wreck.
Yeah, I was going to say, you hold your breath there for a second when it's Flowers going down. But he's up and ready to go on offense. Third foul on Hemphill. East calling the play. Ambrose Hilton rolling. Peters, 3. No good. Guerrier pulls it down.
Montreal subs in. Guillaume Boucard goes back to man-to-man.
Quino, Keon, Ambrose Hilton all over it.
And that shows you the strength of Ambrose Hilton. An athlete, he can go up against the guard, did a nice job, good footwork, and then he uses his length at the end.
Gold star on defense in terms of blocks for this Brampton team tonight. Handful of highlight denials. Here's Odro trying to return the favor, up with the left.
And Odro goes high on the rim, or on the backboard.
12 points now for Prince. He's feeling himself. Flowers trying to create some space, and it was deflected out of bounds. It'll stay down at that end of the floor.
And one of the few mistakes Flowers has made, he got to the middle, he didn't go to the middle to score. He left his feet and became a passer, got fortunate the ball's back.
East up top, 4 seconds on the shot clock, guarded by Odro. East behind the back, Flowers fighting for it, Guerrier has it. Prince in transition. He receives the pass, steps inside, 2 more, and a new season high for Prince.
And it's great footwork by Prince. Little hop step, shows you his athleticism.
He's got 14 now. East, Peters, RPJ for 3.
And this is with the addition of Peters, a veteran.
This game is back and forth. East able to pull down off the miss. Peters in transition, Flowers. Might have been looking for the alley-oop pass. Instead, it's Peters in the corner again, and a sloppy pass there.
Another deflection by Montreal.
Chuqueño. Guerrier wanted the pass to go inside. Boucard gets it. Foul before the shot. Boucard can't believe it.
Oh, Brampton caught a break there. Boucard goes, he's looking to go high-low on that, and all of a sudden he saw East on him, and what does the veteran do? He says, okay, let me post you up. So when you talk about posts up, you want to post up the best matchup. And in this case, East was on Boucard. Boucard had him sealed, and immediately went to it. Good recognition by Montreal, good decision. It's good basketball.
So that foul on Sean East, second personal. Chuqueño trying to create space. Guerrier corner 3. No good. Flowers able to pull it down, his 6th rebound. Brampton out-rebounding Montreal by 10, 34-24. Flowers, 2 more.
And again, great defense by Montreal, but this is Flowers' game. He's a face-up ISO guy, and he can score off the dribble.
Chuqueño calling for the screen, Guerrier. Prince goes down low to Guerrier, and he smoked the layup.
Yeah, nice set, nice high-low. Looked like a tired Guerrier on the catch.
East goes behind the back, too much. Pushing in transition, Boucard, easy bucket, yes.
The veteran defender, Guillaume Boucard.
Boucard's got 9 points. Classic performance from G. Flowers will go to work on Odro. Flowers trying to draw the foul, and he does.
And that's a big foul. That's on Odro.
So 4 personal fouls now on Prince. As Bartholomew and Johnson check into the game for Montreal. Flowers back to the line.
Right now, if you're Brampton, you're saying, I like this grind, but we got to go back to finding some easy ways where other guys can score that's not named East or Flowers.
Flowers hits the first.
So no big bodies on the court for Montreal. What does Brampton do? They get real big. They bring in Eze, and now they bring in Moncrief for the shooter. They're going to force Montreal to bring help, or they're going to start putting the ball inside.
Yeah, Prince with those 4 fouls. You probably won't see him for a couple of minutes. So Moncrief in.
So this is, again, where you had Guillaume Boucard guarding East. Now you've got to ask him to guard a little bit bigger. Or you may see a zone here by Montreal. Right now, they are outsized on the floor.
So Moncrief and Tyson into the game. Johnson's pass deflected by East. Boucard, sneaky 2.
Again, Montreal with the pass, using the pass to run their offense.
East double team. Someone's open. Moncrief for half a second, and East creates space. Oh, magic from Sean on the baseline.
Nothing's over until he lets go of the basketball. What a decision.
Endless energy for Sean here, putting on a show. Johnson, 3 is good.
And the scout report says no catch and shoot for that man, because that's what he will do.
His first bucket of the game, big time. Montreal back in front. Next whistle will get us to target score time, and Boucard comes up with the steal.
That is an incredible performance by Guillaume Boucard.
Chuqueño, guarded by Flowers. Trying to push off. Good defense there from Flowers, but a better shot there by Chuqueño.
Oh, he did to Flowers what Flowers was doing to Montreal all game, getting to the middle and making a decision.
And there's the foul by the Montreal Alliance, as that will take us into target score time. The first to 90 takes all the marbles at the CAA Center. We're going to take a quick break. Most exciting part of the game coming up. Stick around. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Let's bring it on. It's game time. It's showtime.
Gotta love a Canadian boost.
Two hands. Oh, what a block from behind.
Next bucket wins.
Target score time is the best time of a game. The energy, the drama.
That anything can happen.
Big players step up in big time.
He is cooking.
Inside the CAA Center in B-Town, the Montreal Alliance with a 3-point lead over the Brampton Honey Badgers. Matt Bonomi alongside Joe Grasso and Francisco Opong. Thanks for joining us tonight. The lone game in the Canadian Elite Basketball League on this Thursday evening has certainly lived up to the hype, Joe. Montreal punching back in a big way, executing in all fronts in this fourth quarter.
When you only have 3 turnovers, that means that you're controlling the ball, you're respecting the ball, and you get a lot of opportunities. Montreal just being very inefficient. And even to get into target score time, they did a nice job of scoring. They had a plan. They knew they were going to use the foul. They took the lead into it. Just a real professional effort by Montreal, particularly so far in this second half.
Brampton trying to make the playoffs for the first time since 2023. They've been denied the last 2 seasons. With a win tonight, they would punch their ticket. Flowers. And a foul called. Good job at drawing a personal there. Lou Williams will pick up his 4th personal now.
So Montreal decided to stay small on the court, not bring back Prince Odro. Now, one of the things here you got to be careful is because you're dealing with 9, you want to get to 90. You got to make sure you got good free throw shooters on the floor. And we both have jinxed Flowers tonight.
I'll take the hit more than you, Joe. You can get away with it. Flowers now 5 of 8 from the line. He had 1 miss in 37 attempts prior to tonight's game, and he's missed 3 tonight. Something that he would certainly tell you should not happen. 2-point game. Chiqueño. Johnson driving baseline, kicks over to Boucard. No call, contact. Brampton with numbers if they push. Here's Moontu. Soaring inside, reverse no good. Moncrief cleans it up.
Yeah, Moncrief does a great job of running the floor on that.
So after the score, Guerrier checking in.
Yes, because you treat target score time like the last 2 minutes of FIBA, and therefore you're allowed to make substitutions if you're scored upon.
So subs aplenty in target score time. 81-81. Johnson. Too much dribbling, and a foul is called. That one on Moncrief.
Only the second team foul on Brampton. Montreal's got 4, so the next foul by Montreal puts Brampton at the penalty.
And that just Moncrief's second personal.
Now in crunch and target score time, last few games, it's been Guerrier who's been the key guy for Montreal. They've been looking for him inside and out.
Sean East hit the winner the other night for Brampton and Winnipeg, and Chiqueño puts Montreal back in front.
Nice
7 points, yeah.
Nice play by Montreal. They move Guerrier away, and they come back and play on the strong side. Well done.
Here's East. Flowers wants it. Still waiting for it. Now he'll get it. Got the switch back onto Boucard. Hand in his face. No problem for Trenton.
We said, how are Flowers and East going to work together? I say just fine.
Brampton 6 points away. Johnson. Moncrief almost picking it off. And that one goes out of bounds. It'll be Montreal ball.
Yeah, how about Moncrief? He's showing you a little bit of athleticism. There's no reviews in the CEBL this year, but what he's got is only 5 seconds now.
Peters wanted it. He's not going to get it. Bartholomew, yes! Fading jumper.
It's twice now with a 5-second shot clock. Bartholomew ends up with a jumper.
85-84, Sean East. Flowers almost lost control. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Here's East. Into the corner. Peters, and he stepped out of bounds.
Montreal did an exceptional job of controlling the ball. They forced Brampton into option C.
Montreal needing a score, Brampton needing a stop. Johnson. Chiqueño driving, Flowers right there, Guerrier flushes.
What a pass by Chiqueño. He waited for the defense to go up before he looked at Guerrier.
So a timeout on the floor. Guerrier talking to the official. And Montreal with a 3-point lead. Well, today is the final game of the regular season for the Alliance, but they still have their sights set on the playoffs in a crowded Lotto Max Eastern Conference. Stay tuned to CEBL and team social channels for all playoff updates. And one final home game remains for the Honey Badgers as they welcome their rivals, the Scarborough Shooting Stars, to the CAA Center for the first of a season-ending home-and-home series. Tip-off Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern.
So we're in target score time with 90 points. Montreal 87, Brampton 84. At this point of the game, we start talking about possessions. not about the 6 points or the 5 or the 3 points, but possessions. Right now, Brampton has the ball, and they're 2 possessions away from a potential win. So they've got to decide what they're coming out here. Don't hunt the 3, but if the 3's there, they're going to use it. And then it's all about how do you control possessions. If you're Montreal, you're just going to keep doing what you want. You'll take the 2 if they give it to you, but if you have the 3, you'll take it. So I'd like to think of the game as Montreal needs 1 possession, Brampton needs 2.
So Sean East hit the 3 free throws to seal the game against Winnipeg the other day. It was kind of a funny setup there. Team physiotherapist Daniel Streichars, who does a lot of mental work with the players before the game, said to Sean, I envision that you're going to hit a target score time winner at the free throw line. And when East did, he ran right over to Streichars and gave him a big hug. So we'll see if Sean's got another one in his toolbox tonight. As for the Alliance, anyone at this point will take a 3 to spoil the party here in Brampton. Here is East. Guarded by Boucard, who's got 3 fouls. White jerseys scattered here on the offensive end. 5 seconds to go. East got to beat the shot clock, goes down low, and they can't get a shot off.
And you watch Montreal, they said, you know what, you're going to bring in Eze, make him make the play. So all 5 guys in Montreal were literally guarding the 4 of Brampton. They did a super job of controlling the ball and then eventually locking it up.
Chuqueño, Montreal 3 points away. Boucard goes baseline. Guerrier can't climb the front rim. It's loose, goes out of bounds, and it's off of Guerrier.
And Ize's presence there showed up. Boucard had to go for the reverse. Guerrier had to find him. So Eze gave you the defense you wanted. Now you can substitute defense for offense.
Moon 2 in, Eze out. As you say, defense for offense.
Still 2 possession game.
So Montreal clearly not hunting the 3 that last possession. Here's East. Jumper, yes.
So if you're Montreal, potential 1 possession. You're Brampton, you still got 2 possessions.
1 point game. 3 ball will do it. Chuqueño guarded by Moncrief. Guerrier wants it. Flowers comes over on the help. Chuqueño, ball game. No, Boucard pulls it down. He goes into the corner. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Chuqueño slowing things down. Guarded by Moon 2. Good defense here for Brandon. Ball is loose. Moon 2's got it. Chuqueño trying to keep it in bounds, and it'll stay down at that end of the floor.
Man, good defense by Moon 2. The ball that actually went off his foot, the referee decided that it wasn't intentional and continued the play, and then he forced them out of bounds. It was 2 against 1, and Moon 2 won that.
Offensive possession now for Brampton. Peters inbounding. He's stuck in the corner. Flowers. Fading away. Tough stuff from Trenton. Jermaine Small upset on the sidelines. Trenton Flowers pumped up at the other end of the floor. Brampton just 2 points away from a win.
So the other day, Brampton was in the opposite situation, right? So you look at it here, ball moves. Flowers, who's been doing this all day, getting himself to a spot, knocking it down. That's what he does. So to go back to my point, the other day they were in this situation. Now, part of target score is you have to come up with the rationale. Do we want to play defense or do we foul, make them make the 2, and they can't win the game? The other day, they were in the opposite side. Winnipeg decided not to foul. Teddy Allen with 4 fouls is caught on Sean East. Result, fouled on a 3-point shot. They win. So let's see if Brampton now takes that experience and says, okay, let's run something ourselves here. If you're Montreal, what you're looking at here is you can score and go play back and play defense, or you're going to come out here with a set and you're going to try to get the 3.
Flowers has 30 points now. That is a game high. So the Alliance have had a number of three-point shooters tonight. They're 7 of 20, though, from deep, which is 35%. So not such a sexy number there.
You know, Coach Serta was asked, do you like target score yet? And I thought, you know, most coaches, and I think the fact that you have start changing personnel and you bring new people, like all of a sudden you got Peters in the league. This is new to him. Does he know how to handle target score situations? So you've got to make sure you do a job teaching. It looks like Brampton here is going to try to play this out.
Boucard, Bartholomew, Chuqueño, Gourier, and Johnson on the floor for Montreal on the offensive end. Here is Gourier. Boucard comes to set the screen, 10 on the shot clock. Gourier inside, gets the floater to go over Flowers.
And they were lucky that it wasn't a foul called on that.
Sean East, ball in his hands, 24 points and a chance to send Brampton to the playoffs. All they need is a bucket. East, driving inside, East up with the left, off the window. Playoff ticket punched. For the first time since 2023, the Honey Badgers are headed to the big dance.
Yeah, and who takes you to the dance? The person that bought you the ticket, Sean East. What a great finish again, going back to that left. Big time score, big answer. A nice game.
Sean East, 26 points, his second straight target score time winner. And the biggest bucket of the season sends Brampton to the postseason. Head coach Alex Serta, boy, you could tell how much this means to him. First career head coaching gig. He was over here high-fiving everyone at the table, ready to celebrate with his guys. And this is a big relief for a team that scuffled the last little stretch.
And he thought his guys could stop him, and they did. They made a couple stops when they needed 2 possessions, and it was their defense that got them the extra shots. Big win for Brampton.
Sean East seals the deal, punches the playoff ticket, and he's now standing by with Francisca.
John, when you and I spoke the other day, you told me you were more than confident in your guys clinching a playoff spot. Despite the struggles you guys been through throughout the season, you guys were able to get it done. What does that tell you about the guys around you?
You know, we're a new team. You know what I'm saying? It's the first game that we had all our players. And, you know what I'm saying? We had some ups and downs, but, you know, it's a step in the right direction. We just got to keep on going at one game at a time.
Another hard-fought win for you guys. What was the biggest difference in getting the win today?
You know, just going with the ups and downs of the game, staying focused, staying positive. We knew that's a good team right there. They fighting for a playoff spot just like us, so it's going to be a hard game. So we just had to dig deep and get the win.
Another 20-plus point game. 20-plus point game for you, plus the target score. What got you going today? Another 20-plus point game for you. What got you going today?
What?
What got you going today?
Just my teammates, you know what I'm saying? When you got so many good players around, you know, it makes it easier on me. You can't just key in on me because we got so many good players around us. So, you know, we just got to try and take it one game at a time and try to build up some wins here.
Perfect. Good game. Thanks, Sean. Matt, Joe.
A comeback in target score time by the Brampton Honey Badgers. That guy right there finishing it off. Sean East getting the last laugh. We're going to break it all down on the other side. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus. The Brampton Honey Badgers take down the Montreal Alliance 90-89 and punch their ticket to the postseason for the first time since 2023. And Joe, Brampton down the stretch there was back and forth with Montreal, but they got lucky on the defensive end there. Quincy Gourrier made a bucket, no foul call. Sean East goes the other way, finishes it off.
Yeah, you know what? And they hung their hat on their defense and said we're going to get a stop, and they played through it and they got down. But it was the nice finishes of it. The teams were very different. You know, Brampton had 56 of their 90 points came from two guys, and they fed those guys all the time. In Montreal's case, they had 6 different players in double digits. Montreal came out and had an incredible third quarter and into the fourth, but it was at the end of target score time that I thought Brampton did their best job of getting their best players in good situations. That's a big three. You know, that's the one that started target score time, and you know, you got to give Flowers and East credit. They got to the basketball. Montreal just made it tough for them. They had different players come out, look for shots, get them. But Flowers did a super job all day of using the dribble to get him to a spot that he knew he could win the game at.
Flowers with some big-time buckets down the stretch. He had a game-high 30 points. Sean East pours in 26 of his own. And just like that, the Brampton Honey Badgers pick up another win. Well, the final triple header of the CEBL regular season goes down tomorrow. First, the Blackjacks are in Winnipeg to take on Teddy Allen and the Sea Bears as they look to keep their playoff hopes alive in the Lotto Max Eastern Conference tip-off from Manitoba Capital at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Next, the Saskatoon Mamba and the Edmonton Stingers are both locked into the playoffs, but are looking to build momentum before hitting the road for round one. They face off against each other at the Edmonton Expo Center. Tip-off at 7 p.m. Mountain and 9 p.m. Eastern. And the Niagara River Lions are on the road in Calgary to take on the Surge in their final home game from the Winsport Event Center. Action begins at 7:30 Mountain, 9:30 Eastern. Catch all the action live on CBC Gem YouTube and CEBL+. Well, the Brampton Honey Badgers playoff bound after a big win over the Montreal Alliance. 90-89, your final score. For my partner Joe Razzo, our sideline reporter Francisca Opong, and our producer Luca, I'm Matt Bonomi saying so long and thanks for choosing the Canadian Elite Basketball.
Knock 'em out the way, knock 'em out the way, knock 'em out the way. With your head top, time for some action.